Cheers, true believers, friends.
What do you got there?
Hey, Brenton H. Donnelly, what are you doing?
You got some belts?
Oh, you noticed that? Oh, cool, cool. So you're probably wondering why I have tag team belts here.
La Champions?
One's for you and one's for me. You know why? We did a brief little thing on the Leafs, and we both concurred that this is probably what's going to happen and should happen.
Right.
I could show the video, but Ryan Riley.
What
Boom. Boom. Okay, wait. No, hey, that's one. That's one.
That's right.
Number two was the train incident with all the explosions, man. We and Ryan Lindley were like on the... Dude, we were on the... That is huge. Not only do we talk about the UFO, which is the cover-up to these train things, maybe possibly to our conspiracies. We nailed that. We were on top of that, okay? Now, three is we showed some scenes and some theories from a super popular movie that a lot of film aficionados were not aware of in Eyes Wide Shut. So that's three, buddy. Cheers. We got. That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
Crier Media friends. We just raised the bar.
That's right. We just raised it. We're in real time.
We did.
We're in real time.
We just raised the bar. That's 3 for 3. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's 3 episodes. 3 out of the park. That's a hat trick. Just saying. Okay. So, call Huey Lewis because I got some news. I did an in-store event downtown at Nexus Comics. Beautiful Nexus Comics. Downtown Kingston, Baggett Street. And I went down there with my Machete Comics. It was great. I just threw my backpack on, grabbed my box of books, drove downtown. And this here, look at this, buddy. This is gold.
Yeah.
Now this is just an in-store signing that I do at comic book stores and stuff. This store is huge, but that little girl there, Georgia. So here's the funny part of this, buddy. It's a Dungeons and Dragons thing going on, and they're in the back there, and you can hear them and smell them. There's tons of them. Like
smell them.
Well, you can. They've been in there all day, right?
Yeah. I remember that.
So they're in there, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna bring this gnarly artwork and all this Dungeons and Dragons scary stuff. What do you think my clientele was that day, buddy?
Not
that little girl and little kids, dude. So, and I forget. You ever thought how a situation's going to go on your mind to a T and you plan it out and you sit down and you all of a sudden realize that it's the exact opposite of what you thought it was going to be?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I thought it was so cool. So cool.
Yeah.
And I had nothing for kids, dude. I'm talking like my comic books you really can't sell to kids because there's swear words in them and it's so adult. No. I had some Spider-Man dealies, but I had like all this Carnage and Venom artwork that was so scary. So just a funny side note, but hey, you know what? You are the future, little one. Look at that beautiful little girl. Look at that. That's Georgia. And that's our old buddy Metal Mike there. You recognize Mike?
I think so, yeah. I think
from back in the day, buddy.
Back in the day, yeah.
So they were, I can't take pictures of random kids, but I got permission to take a picture. But so it's just funny. I just thought that was hilarious how I showed up there with, and I even had the old school I Hate Sally punk rock T-shirt on. Like I was ready to go down there and basically punk rock it, and it was like, it was funny. It was like a King of the Hill moment where I take one of those songs and it's like milk. I want to drink all day. More milk. I just have to bring my acoustic guitar and change the lyrics a bit, right, my friend?
Yeah.
So that was the mentality. That was so funny. Okay, now my indie music. We both love and support indie music. I saw Willem Scream. I saw 47 Teeth. And I saw, I always blank on names right when I'm at it. Can we show some video? And it'll probably come to me, and I'll remember the name of the band. I'm so sorry. I got the two of them there, and this band was really impressive, but this was the first time I saw them. Okay, now this is 47 Teeth.
Yeah.
And that's Dee there, the old singer from...
oh, shit, that's Dee.
A few bands, but that's Dee from I Hate Sally on bass.
Oh, she played bass.
You know the guitar player, Anna, as well. She was in the all-girl band with... she's married to Dan now. Blonde hair. She was in that band. Laura, yeah, Laura's band. She was in Laura's band as well, if you remember. Now, Liz Tickets. This is brilliant. Sorry.
I've never heard Dee sing like this.
Yeah, so it's really, really cool, man. Yeah, I'd love to jam with it at some point, just because there's that's 47 Teeth, right? Yeah, 47 Teeth.
Room sounds.
And look at that. There we go. Oh, dude, yeah. So that's the hall. Sorry, yeah, good one, buddy. This is the Broom Factory. This is owned by KP Productions, my good close family musical friends Mark and Moira, and this is. I'm blanking on the name.
This is that band.
Oh man. Where's my phone? Where's my phone?
Look at the kids standing around. That's a classic
Dude,
show.
There was little kids there. There was this little guy there that had to be like 2-3 years old, and then there was a younger guy there. Yeah, it was really, really cool. Brutal Youth. That was Brutal Youth. Friends of Boneless's, by the way. But
yeah.
Look at that. So I got to stay on side stage. There's my buddy Yara right across from there. And you know what? This was so, that was amazing. What a great venue. Way to go, Mark and Moira. That is a pumpkin pizza night that they're having. There's some more acts coming up that I'm privy to there. Look at that little dude, Brent. Do you see him right there, the little redhead dude?
Guy. Look at that guy.
I didn't want to take too many pictures of him and freak him out. This is him at first. After, he was tearing up and down in front there, and there's another youngling there with his hands across his chest there.
Yeah.
I think that's a troublemaker on the. Oh, there, yeah, that's okay. That's me with the singer from Willem Scream. We were just hanging out beside each other, and I actually gave him a couple comic books. Hopefully you like them, buddy. I make friends everywhere I go, as I quoted, as I said when I post that one. I make friends, new friends everywhere I go, Brent.
Everywhere we go.
Yeah. I'm a treat.
Oh, here we go.
So here's some more footage. Yeah. My buddy Yarrow doing sound. Dude.
Listen to that. That's some punk rock.
But and the sound in the venue though.
Those harmonies. Gotta love the harmonies. Yeah.
I am in favor of this. So there's the back of the venue. Okay, this was a Willem. No. Yeah, that's Willem Scream there. So that's the back of the venue. Behind me, there's a glass wall and the bar and such. So you can get pizza that's like this thick and amazing, and they had beer and wine for sale. And that's back to the other there. So that is the Broom Factory, Kingston, Ontario, and it's the newest venue. I'm in there with my musical family, Mark and Moira, and loving that place. I was there last night and had so much musical family. Now here's one, just because I know we want to keep moving here. Here's a side note I got to bring up real quick. Mental health. I used to go to shows all the time. People say, Chris, what are you doing in music now? And people I haven't seen in so long. And I say, oh, I'm working on this, I'm working on that. And I really wasn't. So now I'm starting to tell people about my mental health and say, no, I don't play anymore because of the anxiety. And I had so many people last night that asked me that. And when I told them, they just looked sad. I woke up today with 3 messages from different people asking if they could help me get through it.
Wow.
Dude, mental health sucks. But if people around you care, man, they're like, how can I help you get through this? And I had one friend asked me to come over on Wednesday. No, let's do this, man. We can find a fun way to do this again. And again, I'm getting a little choked up because I'm not used to people.
I'm a massive fan of music heals, my man.
Well, no, but I'm not used to the people actually caring about me. The town I used to live in was a lot smaller, and people didn't get the mental. My point is, nobody around me got the mental health factor when I was in the small town. Now that I'm in the larger town in Kingston, these people who haven't been around me that long just know me from music, from Mr. Machete, from Chuck Caliber, from me and you, buddy, being kids. This is when they know me from, and they're offering, that rope here. Let me pull you out of this, buddy. This sucks. Like, let me help you. Instead of going like, you're weak. That sucks. Wow, I'm better than you. I'm still playing. And that's the attitude I used to get. Or people just looking at me, their noses at me, who haven't really done anything with music, and saying,
I love those guys. I love the ones that haven't done shit that have an opinion.
That's what the last town town I was in was filled with those people. Keeping it positive. I have such mental anxiety when it comes to just going to a show, and I had a lot of people reaching that rope to pull me out of the quicksand. Okay, that's my Huey Lewis news for me. Let's move on, buddy. I know we got a lot to talk about.
Well, that's wicked, and kudos on you, man. Music heals, my man. Buddy. Music heals.
And
the people. But I'm just saying, you're going to get into that situation. You're going to start playing it. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I think you should put a record out. It's baby steps, but the last solo thing you did was great. So you're coming out of it. You're in a good place.
Thank you.
Let's do this.
And there's nothing wrong with admitting you have some mental health. Also, I feel a lot better being honest with people why I'm not playing anymore than saying, "Oh yeah, I got lots of stuff in the works," and it sounds like I'm a liar.
Regardless, you're one of the most positive people on the planet, and we're going to bring somebody into the show that's also equally one of the most positive people on the planet. James P. White.
Jimmy on the show.
What's going on, Jedi Jimmy?
Yes, another fellow Jedi. I love it. Cheers, buddy.
How's it going, guys?
Excellent, man. It's good to see you.
Yes, man. How are you doing? Welcome to the new show, the new old show, but this is the new show. It's got a new thing.
A little more focused here. Comic books and conspiracy theories, really just intro of some mishmash, but yeah, we're hitting the subjects, my friend. We're hitting them.
Good.
And it's this is an interesting thing, Jimmy, because I realized I was looking through some of our old emails and I was looking through some of the stuff that we did last year, and Pink Shirt Day falls on my birthday week.
Nice.
And so last year we did, a pretty good thing. We had a great donation from Ford dealership out in Abbotsford that helped us get to that $2,000 for you, buddy, which is awesome. So I realized that every week during my birthday week, it's going to be Pink Shirt Day, which is very exciting because this show is into its third year, which you're on the second year in a row to talk about it, which leads me to believe and gets me very excited that Jimmy will be here on my birthday week every year moving forward for Pink Shirt Week. Appreciate it, buddy. It's awesome. It's awesome.
That's awesome too. Yeah.
It's great, man. Good to see you, man. How you been?
Tell us about it in case anybody isn't aware of it or knows what the details are, my friend.
So yeah, they're like, Pink Shirt Day is the 22nd, so it's this Wednesday. And yeah, I'm doing a live stream. This is going to be amazing this year. Not only do I have an amazing group of panelists, I have Jennifer Valentine.
Yeah, Jen Valentine.
I have her.
Yeah.
Lisa Evans from my sister station, Play 107. I have Krima Sad on.
Nice.
As well as I have a gentleman from the Kids Help Phone. It's also going to be perfect. On Ali Khan. He's going to be on talking about Kids Help Phone and what they do. It's huge, and the Crier Media is a big part of this. Harvard Media is actually the company that owns the radio station I work for, and they come on board and are sharing it with all the stations that are part of our company, and it's going to be huge this year.
And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, man. Last year was huge. This year, even bigger. I think it's amazing, man. And Karima's on there. She's always great. Jennifer Valentine, who's been through a lot of shit, so that's amazing.
She was originally sidebar Toronto trivia. She was the prize queen on City TV when it started off, way back when I was a youngling.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. She's been through a lot in the last couple of
last couple of years. I used to watch her live on City TV. She would go remotely onto places and put up with the public.
Jimmy, it's a panel discussion again this year, correct? So people are going to be kind of giving their story. Last year's was amazing to watch and listen to everyone's kind of stories. But what's the flow this year?
So it's going to be the same kind of scenario where everybody's going to tell their stories, and then of course we have Ali Khan joining us talking about Kids Help Phone, and then there's going to be a question period at the end where the same as you have the chat here, and you go. And you can ask questions from one of us or from all of us, and it goes all the way through.
Nice.
Jimmy, a question for you. Last year you were talking about, obviously, growing up and getting bullied and all the things that you kind of had to go through. I like how you not afraid to talk about it. People are curious as to what you've had to go through. You're doing the wrestling now, which is awesome, and you go in and you play it up a little bit and you do the whole thing. But let me ask you about your day-to-day now. You go in, you work with Locke, and outside of getting bullied from those guys for just being clowns, I want to know if you actually deal with bullying every single day still, or more commonly, or people yelling or whatever. Do you have a regular occurrence now, or is it subsided now, especially in Edmonton, that you're a superstar there?
Celebrity.
Oh no, it happens every day. Like people pointing, staring, making comments, stuff like that. It's not to the extent like when I was younger. Like when I was younger, I was the receiving end of a very physical type of bullying, like getting beat up and stuffed in lockers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was put in the hospital once. And so now it's just, staring and stuff like that. But most of the time, it's some people look at it as bullying or someone making fun of me. It's just, especially when it's coming from little kids, it's not bullying because they just have never seen someone like me before. Being a little person, I kind of stand out. And, a lot of little kids have never seen a little person before. And so some of the staring and the pointing isn't really bullying. It's
Curiosity.
You know, being inquisitive.
Like you wore a Jedi robe everywhere you went, they would just assume you're always just a Jedi. Because what kids mind though, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, you know, if I walked around carrying my lightsaber around,
right?
you know,
the kids just think, oh, he's just a Jedi, man. That's really cool. No, leave him alone.
So out of this discussion that happens with Pink Shirt Day with you and this panel, do you get around to talk to schools very much currently right now? Like, what do you have a speaking schedule right now that you try to maintain, or do you want to add to that?
I used to just do Pink Shirt Day. I don't do a lot of going to schools directly unless, you know, I have some friends that are teachers that, you know, will once in a while will bring me in to talk to a grade 3 class or something. But it's mostly just a Pink Shirt Day. Because I used to do it every Pink Shirt Day, and as soon as COVID hit, then we figured out this, you know, magic internet and being able to reach a whole lot more people in less time than going from school to school to school. And
that makes sense.
And even like with the discussion that I have, if people have more questions or anything after, they can contact me and I'll do like a, you know, online at a school or go in and talk to kids or whatever on top of it.
And do you get that feedback after these discussions? Like, do you get these emails saying, listen, it was this way and you've opened a discussion and now it's this way. People are bothering me less or being nicer to me, or this has helped them greatly. Are you seeing it?
I've heard that a lot from like teachers, you know, where their students have come to them, or even parents from people. And the odd time, like, you know, on social media, I'll get a message from a kid. Hey, I saw your Pink Shirt Day discussion, and you know, you made me think twice. I made a friend that I wouldn't from someone I was making fun of, you know, and stuff like that.
Those are the best stories, man. I like that's a movie, and you know, that's all written in all the movies, and the bully and the person he was bullying or she was bullying get back together and they become best friends, you know, which is always an interesting tale. Now those bullies just ask me for concert tickets now. So, you know what I mean?
I have a lot of people that used to bug me in school or pick on me that think I'm the greatest now that I'm in radio, but you know, there was one particular person when I was growing up. He actually was the one that beat me up to the point that I actually had to be rushed to the hospital.
Oh, shit.
And after that happened, he, you know, hooked up with me, kind of said, hey, you know what, I was wrong. You know, I'm sorry. Can we be friends? And we were friends all the way through high school until I actually moved from Tabor. But that's
how old were you when he apologized to you?
Grade 11, grade 12. Like, it was basically
he was still a kid then, right?
It was actually right after the incident where I was in the hospital. It was within a few weeks. Because I ended up because I had to have brain surgery. I had to go into the school, and I had half my head shaved, and I had bandages and scars everywhere, and I had to go finish my exams, looking like a medical patient. Like,
wow, you're tough, buddy. Good for you, man. You're good for you, man.
I don't know how well I did on the exams.
Well, you showed up though. That's you showed up, buddy.
To that point, and I think you touched on this last year. And I think it's an important point to make, that a lot of people obviously bullying other people is a direct result of something that they got going on at home, or potentially they're having a mental problem at home and projecting onto people. I mean, you get 9 out of 10 bullies. Sure, one's just an asshole all the time, but then you've got, you know, a bunch of other people that are dealing with mental health. When that forgiveness happened between you guys, or when you kind of forgave him and all the rest of it, was there a moment there for you where it left you, as far as like that weight off of your back? Obviously you were injured and you had to go through surgery, which sucked, but was there ever a point there where you felt bad for him? And I don't mean that in a way that's like, if you didn't, that's not a good thing. I'm just saying, was there a point where you're like, that guy's
Like
dealing
the
with some
movie
shit?
moment where you
Yeah,
feel
you're like,
bad
that
for the
guy's dealing
villain.
with some shit. Holy shit. And he took it out on me, and it sucks, but that guy's dealing with some shit. Was there ever one of those kind of moments there, or was it just a straight apology and kind of move on and all the rest of it?
What it was is I kind of realized it wasn't like, he's got the issues. I realized at that point that I wasn't at fault, but to become a friend with someone, it takes two people. So I wasn't trying to learn about him. I wasn't trying I didn't know anything about him, and so he was
Right.
making fun of me. I was making fun of him. There was no reciprocating, no, me trying to learn anything from him either. Because in order to break like the barrier of of ignorance or whatever it is, we have to learn about each other. Like, we have to ask questions. I didn't realize until after he apologized and we actually talked that we had a lot in common. We liked a lot of the same music. We liked,
Classic.
some of the, actually he was into comics and all that kind of stuff too. And we, neither of us made the time to get to know each other. And then once we did, we became friends. Once you ask somebody a question, if you don't know something about someone, don't assume and make fun of them. Ask a question. Oh, you like, heavy metal music too, or
Comics or Star Wars.
Yeah, any of that.
So everybody likes Marvel movies now, right? It's like, Marvel movies?
It's everywhere though, man. Like Chris and I were in a band forever, but the bass player in that band, him and I, man, we used to beat the shit out of each other in public school, and to the point, and then him and his friends used to take me out pretty hard. Then
I didn't grow up with him.
Then I joined. It's funny. I went to another band that we were in together, and he walks in, and we just kind of look at each other like, oh, I guess we're in a band together now.
Now we have to be friends.
It was just that simple, and it just goes away. And it's a shame that so much is lost in between those moments because injury like yourself happens. Tragically, other people don't make it through. So good on you, man.
I played on a hockey team, dude. This is when I was in grade 7 and 8, and it was on a rep team, and there was a couple guys on the team that were older than me, whatever, and they were the goons, and I'm not a tall guy, and at hockey games they were my best friend, and then at school I would be like cowering when I like when they'd walk by me because they just nail you in the arm, right? You'd be like ha ha, and then they'd leave me like, oh my god, I can't feel my arm, right? But in the dressing room at hockey, man, these guys are your best friend. And then at school, you were scared of them. It would, as a kid, it messes you up, man. It's not cool. You know what I mean? Like bullying and not understanding. Okay, wait a minute. Why are you my friend now? Is it because like dads are around? Because there's times in the dressing room where he wouldn't, like other bullies wouldn't bug me. They would still pry on the weak ones, but they wouldn't bug me because I was a good hockey player. But then school, man, head off the locker or I didn't like the punch in the arms because they'd get you in that spot and your arms you're just little. It hurts.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is also for show. Like, to be honest, like if you're one-on-one with someone, they'll leave you alone. They won't make fun of you. But if they're showing off for their buddies, then hey.
You're gonna be nice to the guy? Are you friends with that guy? Nah, watch this. Oh, jeez, God.
But it's in every movie too, right? Like, and they all write movies about it. I mean, Can't Buy Me Love and
well, what's his name had it back then,
The
right?
Breakfast
He knew
Club,
it. He had the formula. I'm just blanking on John Hughes. John Hughes had the formula. He knew it.
But it was there because we all went through. Even in Superman 3, he got bullied. Right?
Yeah. So he did.
Everybody,
by the trucker.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
should we segue into DC?
Yeah, Jimmy. But let's one more thing on it, Jimmy. So one last thing. It's Wednesday, February 22nd, correct?
Yeah, it's February 22nd. It's 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and it's gonna run about an hour, and so it's gonna be huge. If you go to, if you just Google Pink Shirt Day Crier Media, it'll show up.
There you are, buddy. Look at that sharp-looking guy.
I'm wearing the same shirt.
That's perfect. Right now. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. It tells all about what's going on there, the time, the date. Perfect.
It's going to be Wednesday, February 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Mountain, and that's going to be 10 a.m. out here on the West Coast. So make sure you guys tune into the Crier Media. We'll put the links in on our Twitter, all the things that tie back to James P. White's Twitter page and all the rest of it. Make sure you guys add him and everybody involved, because I think it's such a great cause. So I'll be a donator this year, my friend. I'm not doing the fundraiser because this year it ties right into the same day. So this year I'm going to come on and we'll just be a donator on behalf of the show for sure. So
we'll keep pumping it too throughout.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because on the website, like, you can donate to Kids Help Phone. And also we have these really cool shirts that we made specifically for the event that you can get as well, that go to Kids Help Phone.
Merch. Everybody
Awesome.
likes
They're all
merch,
on that
buddy.
site.
All right, my man. Well, good luck
We'll
with
spread
that.
the word,
Let's
yeah.
we're gonna move on for a couple minutes onto DC. Are you familiar with what's been happening with James Gunn's announcements and all the rest of it, and all the changes that are coming over there?
A little bit, yes. I have been kind of following it somewhat. I've been kind of distracted, as you say, trying to prep for the Pink Shirt Day this year because
Sure.
it's a lot going on. But yeah, I've been following.
Who is your favorite DC character, my friend? Like, it's okay to say Batman as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to say Batman.
I do. It is Batman, but it is what's his name's Batman?
Frank Miller, the older Batman.
No, sorry. I'm talking movies.
Oh, movie-wise.
Michael
okay.
Movie-wise.
Keaton,
Keaton.
Bale.
Yeah,
You like
Keaton.
Keaton,
And he's
yeah.
back, right? He's going to be in the new one, the new
Gonna be in
Flash.
the Flash. Yeah.
Yeah, have you seen that, Jimmy? Have you seen that where he comes back and says, "Yeah, I'm Batman"? And
Oh yeah,
and
I
he's
saw
back?
that. And,
Okay,
and
cool.
God, that's why that popped into my head right when you asked.
That looks good. That looks really
But
good.
it looks like
yeah.
they are pulling a little bit of Spider-Man-ish there. So it looks like they got some generations going because they got Affleck
Flash
in there
always
as well.
had that, right? That was the one thing. It was almost like they were afraid to tackle it. That is a huge story. Like, anytime you deal with different timelines and different Earths, you got to get it right, or else you're going to screw other things up. And what has DC done? They screwed up their timelines and their continuity. So to tackle this whole thing of the Flash, getting the timelines and going back and saving his mother, right, and going back again and screwing things up over and over again, is a pretty tough thing for a writer. So James Gunn's like, watch this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised he's not Canadian, man. He's just really, really
He's here.
got that swagger.
He's down
buddy.
the street from me at least once a month filming
And
Peacemaker.
maybe he wants to be a Canadian.
So-
So that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome the way. And then you saw in the trailer, they not Superman, it's Supergirl.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? And that's a good take in a Flash movie. You don't want to, like, as soon as you bring Superman in, he's either overshadowing, unless it's Batman, and then it's kind of like, oh, we may have a
But
fight
he does
here.
talk about the Supergirl that they're going to make is the Supergirl that was stuck on this Krypton
Yeah,
Earth.
yeah. so
That
she doesn't-
and so she's not like Superman. She's kind of more jaded and angry. So I'm wondering if that's the one that they put in, or if this is just a Supergirl that's in to start the continuity. I don't know what the plan is with that one. Do you know, Jim?
Like, from what I saw and was reading about it, it looks very much like the because the whole premise behind this Flash movie is like the Flashpoint paradox.
Yeah.
And remember where our Superman was in the, at least in the movie, in the animated movie, he was captured and then was released. He wasn't really part of the universe until he was able to escape the prison that he was in that dimension, in that multiverse or dimension or whatever. And I think that's kind of where they're doing that with Supergirl, is kind of, she's the one that is captured, not Superman.
Ah, dude, love it. Good point. That's a great point. I didn't catch that. That's a good one.
I'm finding it interesting that they're still allowing this. James has said that there will still be movies outside of this. So the Joker, the Snyder kind of thing, that's going to live outside of there. Any of these kind of movies they're making that don't fall in, and I'm amazed that they're still actually allowing those to happen, because it can be minorly confusing.
Right.
Yes and no. Like the Batman. Like, they're doing a second one of that, and that
That's great.
Was very well done, and it was not done along the same premise as the way they're doing it, and still well done. And you had all the, more realistic type villains and stuff like that. And now they're even talking about doing a Penguin series.
Loved it. He was so great, man. It was awesome to be have him be more like a gangster. You know what I mean? That was awesome. He was more like a gangster that still had bosses. That's the Penguin that was presented to us in this movie. That was amazing.
Yeah,
they changed. So, well, that's the thing too, is right, because it's pretty. When you get the original Batman 2, Batman Returns, whichever it was, when Danny DeVito was the Penguin, I was really disappointed by the way Burton took it. He made the Penguin look just kind of like a very jokey. The Penguin's dangerous, and he didn't seem dangerous in that. And I get it, that was the era, they were making everything funny and whatever, but I found that Burton's Penguin wasn't dangerous, and this new Penguin is like, he's scary.
But was he ever dangerous? He wasn't dangerous in the 60s show with Burgess Meredith.
No, I'm talking, the comic book and in that TV show Gotham, I believe it was. He's dangerous, dude. But in the comic book, he's dangerous. He'll bite your face off, man. Like, you don't turn your back on him. Like, and in the comic, or in the movie, it was, you could psychologically, you couldn't psychologically outwit the Penguin either in the comic book, which was really weird how he was just a pawn basically throughout that movie. And it's like, that's not the Penguin, man. Come on, I want that. Even the Penguin back in the 70s was better than that Penguin, I think. He was smart. He's smart. He's got to be smarter. Anyway, there's a lot of villains of Batman who are not smart. The Penguin is not one of them, and it doesn't work for me. So that's why I'm looking forward to the new Penguin as well. I think that'll be cool. I love the organized crime aspect of Gotham. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm stoked to see what comes out of it. Jimmy, my man, awesome to have you back here.
Yeah,
and please come back anytime as Mando starts up. We'll probably start doing a few more reviews, so you're welcome to come back and hang. And we'll do some Mando stuff.
I'm excited about that.
I tagged you in that. Star Wars battle thing that's happening. Where's that, in Tokyo? Where are they doing that?
Oh, the lightsaber thing.
Hong Kong, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, because they used. Like before COVID, they used to do them like once every couple years, the lightsaber contests where and I'm not quite to that level as some of those people, like with all the flips and spinning the lightsaber behind your back. Like, I'm okay, but I'm not to that extent.
Those people have way too much spare time on their hands, Jimmy. Don't worry, buddy.
We got to see that. So where can we find you online, and where can we see you in the ring again, man? I need a good heeled Jimmy here. I want you to crack someone in the head with some brass knuckles, dude. Is that happening anytime soon or what?
Actually, right now in the storyline, I guess you could say, my Carnival of Chaos, we kind of lost to massive damage, and now I am his. I have to be his servant until we win again. So
it's a Seinfeld episode. It's a Seinfeld episode.
So I have to carry out his belts for him and bring him water if he needs it, or. I'm basically.
That's a great.
You put a lot of that stuff on your Instagram, don't you?
I put that on all my Instagram, Facebook, all that.
Right. I see it on there all the time. It's very entertaining, buddy. Keep it up. I love it.
Because I do that with Monster Pro Wrestling, and we do it the first Friday of every month. So
nice.
We do a show. And
I'm begging to be in Edmonton the first Friday of some month. So maybe that'll happen this summer. I'd love to come see it.
There you go.
Thanks, brother. Where can we find you online? We'll let you go.
Okay, you can find me I'm on at JPWhite957 on Instagram and Twitter, and James P White on Facebook. And and if you do want to join in for the Pink Shirt Day, you can also go to my radio station's website, which is 957cruisefm.ca, and there's a link there for you to sign up. You don't want to miss this year. It's going to be great. We got some awesome women involved, and of course, Ali Khan from Kids Help Phone, and it's going to be a great event. I'm hoping, like right now, looking at the signups, I've got people across Canada signed up, so it's more the merrier.
That's great, buddy. Good to hear.
Awesome, buddy. You're one of my favorite people in the world, man. Keep up the positivity, and best of luck on Wednesday. We'll be watching and donating, my friend. So.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
cheers, buddy.
Take care, Jimmy.
See you, pal.
It's James P. White.
Nice. Always excellent to have him. He's such
Our
a
favorite
gentleman.
Jedi.
Man.
Our favorite
He's
Jedi.
gentleman and Jedi.
Good stuff.
like
Pink
that
Shirt
dude.
Day. Tune
I
in.
like that
All right,
dude.
Chris, we're moving on to Montreal.
Let's do some conspiracy theories. I could watch this thing our producer did here for us over and over again. All right, Lonnie, you ready? Let's do this. Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so tonight
those aliens. We're gonna name those
What's that?
aliens. We're gonna name those aliens.
Yeah, we should have a contest.
Carl,
Name the aliens.
Carl, Frank, and
Biff.
Biff. Yeah.
What's a real preppy name that they used to have back in the day? Biff was
Connor.
Connor. Blair. Blair Reese and Connor.
You guys going to Blair's house? You guys going to Blair's party, man? You going to Blair's? Yeah.
We're gonna smash some beers there.
It's gonna be smashing beers, man. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so we're talking today about MK Ultra, and this is not the cannabis strain, which I actually haven't tried. You know, it's expensive, that one. It's high end, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual MK Ultra experiment that was going on, and that's mind control. And this starts back in the late 50s, man. And it's admitted that this was happening. And we're going to show you some great footage from a TV show here from 1980. But this was going on from the late 50s to the 60s. Now, what I'm doing is I'm focusing, because, dude, this goes into movies, goes into tons of Kubrick stuff. Here's what we're going to show in a second. There's the Fifth Estate here. But this subject bleeds from the 50s into today, man. There's so much stuff we could show you about this today, and we will. We're probably going to have to do a part 1 and a part 2. So I think today what we're going to focus on is the fact that this happened in Montreal, which to me is just up the road. This is probably 2 hours away from me. This is sensational. Yeah. And the creepiness of this story, that they're admitting that, yeah, we did this. And some of these doctors and scientists, this is right out of the X-Men Project X theory here, man, of TV show, but it's real life. And as I mentioned, this bleeds into Stranger Things. This bleeds into Kubrick movies. This bleeds into our celebrities today. This is an awesome subject. Let's start this with some real live news reporting on the subject when it was free that people could talk about it. The Freedom Act came up with this in 1980. We'll just look at some parts of this. We'll go from the top here, Lonnie. Thank you. This should bring back memories as well, just this, right?
The Fifth Estate.
Love it.
I'm Adrienne Clarkson.
Yes, you are.
Tonight we report on a secret CIA research project carried out in Montreal in which mental patients felt they were used as the CIA's guinea pigs.
They kept you asleep for 23 days. And while I was asleep, they were shocking the heck out of me with electric shocks.
The CIA was interested in Dr. Cameron's work on psychic driving because it could give them an idea of where the personality could break or be stressed.
Those of us who were involved with trying to find out something about brainwashing, yes, this is the reason that we were interested in Dr. Cameron's work.
Okay. Now, an interesting side note to this. Okay, so what they were doing, just to flatten it out for you a bit here, is we have them testing. This is where acid came from. Now, the drug acid, not the burn acid. You ever done acid?
No.
Well, okay, I didn't think so. That's okay.
No,
I was going to say.
Never was my thing. No,
right,
never was a chemical guy. But
okay, so just to give an example, when I was younger, Mom and Dad, avert your ears.
Gracious Gary and Dangerous Dorothy, we need you to.
Just to give you, okay, so
go to the porch and look outside.
Here's the thing, and I've mentioned this before, Brent. I'm through. Well, I'm not through, but I'm not going to talk about things that I don't have a little in on or understand or researched. There's nothing worse than somebody talking to you about a subject And you know they have, and then you say why, and they say because, or I don't know. That actually we mentioned that's my trigger, right, buddy? When you disagree with somebody and you ask why, and they say because.
Just because Carl told me.
Yeah, right. Okay. So what they were doing, they came up with this stuff. They came up with LSD, is what they call it, right? So they were experimenting on people, and we'll look at some people here who are being experimented on. Now they were using it to knock people out. They were using it to make people all tripped out, and they would give them high doses of this. Now, where are you going, Lonnie? 1 second here. So what I'm relaying my story here that's going to scare my parents. My mom's right now. Just mom, get a drink. Okay, so here's what LSD was or is. So it's either a little microdot, which looks like a little candy. It looks like a little Pez candy or something like that. You know what I mean? And then there's ones that look like those little tattoos you used to get. Looks like a little piece of paper with part of a cartoon on it. And what they do is they take the paper and they dip it in this liquid LSD. And you get a dose, okay? Now, that's what you would get back in the days. You'd buy a dose and you would take that. And you would trip out, woo! You know what I mean? So they were giving these people liquid versions of it, not just dipped in and not just put into like a candy, but like dabbers full of this stuff, dude. This is insane. Now, just to show you an example of what happened to me when I was, in my 20s. I was older, but probably just before. So I took the acid. And the night went on, and I went to meet an acquaintance of mine later on in the evening. And I was tripping. It was a fun night, but I sat down beside my acquaintance who I knew. It was a girlfriend at the time. And I remember sitting down beside her and her talking to me and me just looking at her, and I didn't know who she was. and I'm looking at her like, and I was just about to say, "Who are you?" And everything went, and it was, "Oh, okay, boom." But I was just about to say, "Dude, so that's what acid does to you. That's what LSD does to you. Boom. And you can have really bad trips off this stuff. I've had friends that were not the same for a while after a really bad acid trip. One of the big proponents and one of the big things in LSD and acid is rat poison, and not a lot of people are privy to that. But that's so a lot of the gangs would get a hold of it and they would step on it, and it's a lot easier to put a little more rat poison in there. And it's a lot easy to take out your competition that way. So that is LSD. And if you have taken LSD before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I would love to hear some comments from you, because it is one of those drugs that people say you're not the same after you take. Okay? So this is what they're doing to these people, man. And like that guy said there, man, they would knock him out for 26 days. So they're trying mind control, right? So they're using this drug. Now, what does that tell you about this drug, man? If you take just a little bit of it, and people were partying on it in the late 60s and early 70s, and you see them, and you can see them in Woodstock documentaries. Whoa, you can tell when people are on acid, right? You give these people way too much of that, and they will start to believe what you tell them. Another perfect example that I was meaning to lead here to was Charles Manson. That is how he kept control of all his family. All those young girls, is they kept them on acid all the time. So they were constantly relying on Charlie. And then they got in that groove where he was scaring the crap out of everybody. When you're in that manipulative state and you're in that hallucinogen state, you're up for many suggestions. There was one gentleman, I don't know if we'll see it, but they had him convinced that he was this tall just because they kept giving him acid for like a 30 days straight. Man, I could not. So the state I was in for those few hours when I was partying that night, I could not, like when I was done with acid, like after it wore off, I felt like the joke is me and my buddy, Scott Fobert. My parents know Scott and love Scott. We joked the next day saying, I feel like scrubbing my brain in the shower. I was like, holy crap. You know what I mean? Like, it's dirty. It's not good.
I've never heard of anybody, and I don't mean this out of disrespect, but I've never heard of anybody coming out of an acid trip and being like, that was the greatest thing I've ever been through. Because anybody that I know that's been through it has been like, if they have a bad trip, it's the worst thing of their life.
So you don't know anybody's had a good trip on it?
I don't think I know anybody that's had a good trip on it, including some people that we mutually have friends on that have been on it that are like, it was bad, man. Like I've never
been around people who have smoked cannabis as well and have been really like, oh my God. And I'm just looking at them like, seriously? What? Like, because I could drive home no problem and do whatever. And they're like having a hard time operating and functioning in our reality, which is wild. So again, this kind of stuff, people listening out there, please, all cannabis, LSD, mushrooms affects everybody differently. Okay? Really keep that in mind when I'm talking about it. I don't want to make it sound like this is something that you should do, because you can really F yourself up. I'm an old guy. I'm 50. I don't do acid anymore for sure. And my point is they were really messing with people. Okay, can we show another clip here? And this is they admit that they did. Some of these scientists, dude, they're supervillains. These are some supervillains here. This is crazy. Okay.
The American Central Intelligence Agency has been accused of manipulating citizens of countries all over the world, including Canada. At the moment, a number of Canadians are considering suing the CIA. They believe they are victims of covert CIA experiments. Tonight, 2 Canadians who feel the past 20 years of their lives were damaged by the CIA tell their stories publicly for the first time. They believe they were part of a CIA project called MK Ultra, a research project so secret that even the Canadian government was not informed that the agency was funding activities in this country. The CIA was seeking a new weapon, aimed not at the body, but at the mind. Americans became obsessed with brainwashing during the Korean War. Prisoners of war returned home denouncing the American way of life. Hearing them parroting propaganda, the CIA became convinced the communists had found the key to brainwashing. Now the Americans had to unlock the mystery of mind control.
There was great work.
Look at that dude, man. Where do you see his teeth? These guys are scary. These doctors are scary. So I just want to talk for a couple more minutes, Lonnie. Remember the guy I was talking about who really reminded me of Mr. Sinister? If we could find him. No. You'll know it when I bring this guy up. When the lady asks him questions, he just looks at her, dude. This guy will creep the
How
fuck out
about
of
the
you.
balls on the Fifth Estate to do this story in 1980?
Well, the thing is that it's all and there's people. There's that gentleman that we'll show him again later, right? And there's another lady. We're gonna have time for all of these people. You gotta go to YouTube and put MK Ultra Montreal, and you'll get all this stuff. I implore you, my friends, really look into this because this is still going on today. There is still this stuff going. And well, I'm going to talk about it next week about. How it's still going on today.
I'll be away next week, so that's a good chance to talk about the whole thing. So.
Okay, and I'm going to lead into some stuff about The Shining as well because it's Stanley Kubrick, and I love Stanley Kubrick. But I just love blowing people's minds with some of these TV references. There's not just Stanley Kubrick. There's more than that. Okay, is this the gentleman?
And leave the healthy personality intact. But first patients were to be so de-patterned that some even forgot their toilet training. Wow. Not all the patients ever completely regained their memories. Dr. Peter Roper was a close colleague of Dr. Cameron's at the Allen.
Many people, but some would reach what Cameron would call the 3rd stage of depatterning. With that method, others would need 2 treatments a day, maybe for a week or longer, before they got to the 3rd stage.
What would characterize the 3rd stage of depatterning?
Well, the 3rd stage, as defined by Cameron, was a loss of ability to orientate themselves. They knew who they were, but they didn't know where they were.
Brainwashed them.
And they didn't know what age they were.
As you probably know,
electroshock. Dude, how about that guy?
Has been given for depression.
Not this guy here or whatever. How about that last guy, dude?
I know.
But and there's an even creepier one though. There's a creepier one of that guy, but that was a good one, Lonnie. But that guy, whoever that dude, is an asshole. This guy's an asshole too, though. Sorry, but see, these guys are really evil, dude. These are like super villains, friends. Planet Earth, these people are villains. Yeah. I heard a good quote, and I can't remember who it was from. Okay, so here's the thing about the world we live in. These people like this aren't afraid to kill us, Brent. Yeah. Us good people, we're not going to kill them. If they got caught, we still wouldn't kill them. We would put them in jail. They will kill every single one of us. They do not care. And the more you listen to these people talk back in the day when these guys were when there was no social media and they could just exert their dominance in their speech. Yeah. Dude, these people are supervillains, man. This is not good. But that, again, I can't remember who it was. I wish I could remember. And they said that's the difference. And that's sadly why good will not. I'm just relaying on this quote. Is this gentleman said that we won't win because the good people won't win because the good people won't kill, and the evil people will kill the good people. Wow, that's
so this was a mind control experiment to try to for the CIA to basically find new ways to defeat their enemy.
Yeah, because they were coming out of the war already mind warped to hate the United States. So they're like, holy shit, wait a minute, what's going on here? We got to do what they're doing. So they took the people, like the Nazis and everything, like they took those people and from the Korean War, and of course, we're going to have them work for us. And that's what they did. So they're brainwashing, and that's what they're doing. And the more you look into this, the more you're going to see the different things they tried. The first they tried was sex, buddy. First they tried with hookers and LSD. That's how they started this. Now what are they doing today? I'll get to it next week. Damn. They're using them for rappers. Dude, the rappers. They're Okay, so we got a great clip here, I think, next, Lonnie.
Dr. Peter Roper left the Allen Memorial in 1967. What were the circumstances of your leaving the Allen?
Why'd you get
Somewhat
fired?
questionable.
Dude.
In what way?
The annual reappointment was not renewed.
Because you're a dick.
67.
You're evil. Look at him.
Did Dr. Cameron have anything to do with this, or was it after he left?
Oh, that was after he left. He left in 64.
See the look, though? Can we go back to the look that he gives her when
this guy looks like it would be one of those hostile guys.
Dude, how scary is this guy? This guy is experimenting on people back in the day. If their social media get busted. Dude, look at this. Look. When she says, in a different, politely, why did you get fired? He just stares at her for a minute. That's okay if you can't find it. Like, that's all right. But that's creepy. Say that's creepy. See, this is horror, my friends. This is horror. We're looking at it. So they're trying to brainwash people. And Lonnie will probably find some more things as we talk here, Lonnie.
They make movies about. I know you're a Kubrick guy, but have they made movies about this subject?
Well, what do you think? Where does Stranger Things, dude? What's Lonnie? I think we got a picture of Stranger Things. She's all. There, dude, look at. She's. Hey, dude, there you go. Clockwork Orange. Yep. There's lots more that I want to get into with the Hollywood side of this, but we still just got 5 more minutes. Oh, look at it there. Okay, sorry. Here we go. Thank you. Keep moving. Look at that place, Brent.
Yeah, look at that.
Brent, look at that place. This is real. This isn't make believe. These people admit that guy was admit. So here's the scary thing. That asshole there was admitting everything he did. He was just admitting everything he did, and everything he did was wrong. He was experimenting on human beings. Yeah. Why? What? And this is probably still going on.
Does that place still exist?
Yeah, dude. Let's go visit it. Let's go visit. It's 2 hours away, brother. That's what I was saying. I'd love to go visit it.
What do we make it out of there? I wonder.
How cool is that, buddy? Yeah, if anybody from Montreal has anything they can help me out with this, that'd be great.
I think I'm going to try to get James and Ryan on for you next week, because I think James is probably pretty deep in on this subject, and I'm pretty sure Ryan will know a little bit about it.
James and Ryan.
James from the network. So Ryan from the network, who was on last week, Ryan Lindley.
Oh, right.
And James DiFiore, who's got a show called Blackballed. Who's a blackballed journalist, basically.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
So James has got his own assortment of guests. He's actually on before us on the network every week.
Okay, well, next week is going to be MK Ultra and Hollywood. Okay, today we're doing MK Ultra in Canada. Next week is MK Ultra in Hollywood. Okay, so that'd be great. But that's our subject of it. Because as I say, I want to splinter in. Because dude, there's some celebrity stuff, man, that I'm going to show. Lonnie was laughing her head off doing the research for me on this today, man.
Just show that one.
Okay, okay, let's show one to get us wound up for next week, my friend.
Yeah, let's see that.
This is great. This is a really cool subject. I've been really. I wore something to contain myself. I'm flicking this because I'm so excited about this subject, buddy. I'm really trying to keep it under control. Hopefully I haven't. This is brilliant. You can't fake this. This is not like a UFO thing, so you can. And this was huge.
Presented by no one. What's that? That could only be the musical stylings of Victor Oladipo, who is the reigning 2-time champion of the All-Star Weekend player talent show.
Come on, brother.
Credit on that. A lot of credit. You're very talented. I mean,
what the hell?
Frozen, not even moving an inch. What? Even if Shaq was just joking, you would still be moving at least.
You're not a karaoke guy like me, but you can ask.
They go to Barkley.
You know they call me O'Brown Eyes, right?
As a matter of fact,
Cameraman doesn't know what to do.
They both have experience singing New York, New York. His was at the slam dunk contest. Yours was in Vegas.
Yes.
We had the show out there. Here's just a little sampling.
I wish I had a
poor guy.
I wish I had this clip before I met him. I met him a couple months ago.
Maybe you start giving him keywords and snaps and see if he freezes.
New York.
Hey, yo, let me lead, bro. Let me lead. I got you.
What the F? Okay, so next week we're gonna dive into a little bit more of that, and into the movies and stuff. Okay, but yeah, it's gonna be an exclusive MK Ultra episode. So, but my friend, this partially started in Canada.
That's crazy.
I bet you did not know that.
Well, I mean, I knew it based on reading about it.
Oh, good for you.
Because I didn't hear. Obviously, there's so many stories out of the war of people that, things that they were doing, and it's interesting. Have you watched the show on Prime called Hunters?
Oh, my wife did. Yeah, I saw a little bit
So
of it.
Lonnie knows all about that, like how they had, and the whole thing about after the war, the government hired all the Nazis to build everything.
Well, they're in NASA,
and all the
NASA.
Germans. So that's a whole thing. But yeah, so I mean, it's definitely something that I know about the MK Ultra in Montreal just from knowing about it from years past or listening, but diving in all the way. And coincidentally, Adrienne Clarkson became our Governor General. The lady that was doing the interview on the fifth estate. Or
You're kidding?
She's the government. She was the Governor General of Canada forever. She actually went from journalism to become like our main,
super familiar. Yeah.
Our main contact to the rest of the world. She was like that's a kind of funny kind of bit there.
That's right.
Out of an MK Ultra bit that she did on TV. So
wow. Well, MK Ultra's a really, really, it's a great subject, man.
God, I wish. Can you imagine MK Ultra was happening right now with all the freedom bullshit and all the crazies?
Well, I think it. Right this is what we're going to talk about next week. Is it may be going on a little more than we think? But dude? Why would they stop? Like they were onto something. Why would they stop? They wouldn't. They wouldn't. They'd just be getting better and better at it. Dude, look at this. Like how long have we been using gasoline for? We haven't improved on that. Or have we? We have, right? But we're not allowed to use it because of all the money that the companies make. We all know this. But same can be said for a lot of things. This could be one of them. They started this late 50s, early 60s. If they did keep this going, do you know how good they would be at it by now?
Well, has the acid changed?
Well, that's the thing. They might not even be using LSD anymore, brother. They could be using, who knows what they could be using.
Right.
But there's a lot of I've seen some Lady Gaga ones where she freezes too. Katy Perry, I've seen ones where she freezes up, and not the eyelash one. It's just interesting. I just find it interesting. Yeah. And Britney Spears too, man. There's all of a sudden she doesn't know how to dance. What's going on there? That's like me forgetting how to play hockey totally.
Did she ever know how to dance?
Yes, she did, because they used to show her dancing, dude. She could cut her. She could cut a rug. I remember me and you back in the day when Machete started watching her videos, man, and being like, don't like the song, but you know what? This is okay. Come on, man. Come on, exactly. There you go. Thank you. She can move, but now she can't, which is really weird. And that's like I hadn't played hockey in 20 years, man. I jumped out there, I could skate and I could move around. 3 weeks later, I was back to like middle ground. You can't tell me somebody.
Well,
I was never as good at hockey as Brittany was at dancing. She was really good, man. She was doing it since she was in Mickey Mouse Club. The things that are going on with her are so interesting. I love it. It's just more Hollywood, but this MK Ultra goes really deep. As I've researched, buddy. But yeah, I love talking to you about this stuff, buddy. It's so much fun
to listen to it.
Okay, so where are you next week? Where are you going to?
South America.
South America. Well, have fun in South America.
Thanks, man.
I got to send you more.
For a couple of weeks. So I'll be gone until for a little while. So
while you're there, how long are you there for?
March the 13th.
Okay. So don't drink the water or poop there.
Listen, I got deathly ill last time I was there, so I'm well aware.
No water and no poop. You got to hold it and
I almost got killed and jumped by a pack of 8-year-olds. So that's a whole other thing. So it was very exciting. It's very exciting.
Get some training in before you go, brother.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go and do the thing. But hopefully, I've traveled. Monday's gonna be bad. Maybe the following Monday will be good. So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see.
All right. Well, it's good to see you, my friend.
Yes. Tell everybody about your things. We got to send them to the places.
Just Machete Comics, Chris Machete. Google it, man. We're in there. I'm this weekend. I'm teaching Sunday down at Nexus for the excuse me, the Scholastic Captain Underpants. Yeah, there we go. And I was at Nexus, and I'll there again on 26. SBT Comics, I'm doing a seminar and a meet and greet on March 13th. That is kicking off March break. And then at the end of March break, I will be back in my old stomping grounds in the Schwa area, March 18th. And that Deadly Grounds coffee place is to die for. And it really is. It's friggin' awesome, man. That is a really great place. And the last person that was there a few weeks ago was a dude from Return of the Night of the Living Dead. One of the zombies, the head mechanic zombie there that was leading them all. So I'm in good company. Oh, they have celebrities there all the time. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I got some amazing drawings for them there. So yeah, buddy. So I'm keeping busy. I'm keeping busy. The old guy tour is continuing, and I do have another announcement to make. Hopefully next week, after my last in store and seeing how the youth love me, and I mean youth, I mean little kids. I have a new comic book that I'm going to launch. I just have to. I've been sitting on this one for a while, and you know me, I get that moment. And it's like, there it is. There's the whole story. I'm ready to go. So I just have to copyright the character first before I talk about it, obviously. Let's just say it's a young girl, and she's going to kick some ass, man. She's going to be cool.
This has been live from Machete Comics.
Yes.
On the Crier Media Network.
Yes, Crier Media. Thanks, guys.
Guys, thank you for hosting and having us and all the rest of it. The network
is
blowing up like crazy,
it is.
Which is great. It's doing big business, which we love. Support
Keep this in mind, though, right? Keep this in mind, right? We're 3 for 3.
Yeah, we're on this shit.
We're 3 for 3, man. 3 shows for 3 since we've been doing the Crier Network on Bus. I don't know. We'll have to look back tomorrow and see what we uncracked when I review it.
I don't think we cracked an egg or predicted anything this week, but maybe.
But you never know. The universe works in mysterious ways.
Right.
All of a sudden tomorrow there could be this great big MK Ultra news thing that comes through. Like who knows, buddy? Or something about indie music that we taught. Like who knows? Or maybe some big news about the pink shirt day goes through the roof. Like we're on the edge here, buddy. We're on the edge.
Well,
just
Pink
like
Shirt
the
Day is
wrestler.
definitely going to go through the roof, and everyone needs to go over and support Jimmy and everybody over Pink Shirt at CryerMedia.co. You can check all the Pink Shirt Day stuff out. Check it out. Donate.
Yeah, and check out all our other friends on Crier Media, man. I'd like to thank you guys for retweeting all my idiotic posts and stuff. I'm a joker, but I am a real treat once you get to know me.
Speaking of Ray Routh from the network, he's got the Who's Got Next podcast and Ray's Got Next podcast. He is my guest this week on Do Did Will, and we're gonna get into a whole bunch of stuff there. Rad guy, and we'll go from there. That is live.
Nice. Yeah, good times.
Machete Comics. Good times.
Rad dudes.
Thanks, everybody.
MK Ultra.